Here we go with Gary the Fairy, dude. Gary. I can't stand this guy. Dude, I love when people would wreck him on Twitter. Always. This dude would get ratioed out of his mind, but they'd always put the image of him. Not him. From The Simpsons, the evil banker guy. It looks exactly like him, and he's like this. There are several reasons Ripple would buy new XRP with new capital for a treasury. Yet many ask, why not just move all from the escrow? A purely speculative factor. Maybe the pre-allocation theory is correct, and Ripple has less XRP in escrow than the public thinks. I do think that seems more likely. Yet again, it's a theory, a game theory, but that does seem the most likely. All right, so what was Gary spouting off? The fact that this dude was teaching at MIT is actually baffling. I'm giving a blockchain course. You talk about deployed.
With another central monopolist, a lot of commercial banks aren't terribly excited about that. Maybe you're going to have to give some ownership. Maybe you'll have to give 50% of your ownership to the 20 banks that are now, part of this. I mean, there are other ways to build incentive systems. Maybe you put a native token in there, and you give them the native token.
Almost so like you hold on to it in escrow
to beat the current
hand it out
monopolist. and
you're not going to beat the current monopolist. I think you need to take that into consideration. What you need to do is work out a deal with them, so you kind of can both survive. You wet my beak, I wet your beak. That type of energy. That's that escrow seems like this, bro.
But having been around commercial banks for a long time, they really are looking for ways to replace their aggregators in their back office, whether it's clearing, settlement, exchanges, credit agencies. But they are deeply understanding, because they are pretty ambitious and very good at making money as well. They deeply understand that every idea that's pitched to them is somebody who currently is small but wants to get big and gain market power. So they're also always thinking about how to ensure that there's a check to slow down your startup from gaining market.
Oh my God, this is crazy. This is almost exactly like when XRP gained second in market cap, and then they put the boot on the neck of it with the lawsuit for however many years, right as the dude was leaving the SEC. Dropped the lawsuit by.
Market power 5, 10, and 15 years from now.
Insane, bro. Dude, this fucking guy. This guy's spouting off about what the hell they were doing. This is insane, bro. And people say, yeah, look at conspiracy theory. It's like, I don't know. I've kind of been paying attention since 2017. This is exactly what it seems like if you've been paying attention to all the pieces. Brian Armstrong, spend dollars, get Bitcoin. The Coinbase One card is fully live in the US. You can now apply to get one. It's the best looking card with the best rewards. It might make sense to get one in case it catches on. Let me see this crap. Oh, it's so loud.
It gives you back something of actual value.
Oh, what is she talking about? Whispering in my ear? What?
This card doesn't give you points.
Gives you wings.
System telling you how to spend them.
Ooh,
no.
Yeah, it does.
The Coinbase One card does something different.
What? What does it do? Satoshi Nakamoto!
It gives you back something of actual value.
Ooh.
Like the best performing asset of the last decade.
Ooh.
Up to 4% Bitcoin back with every purchase.
What?
Turn everything you buy into Bitcoin.
Whoa. I'm not gonna lie, I give credit where credit's due. That was a pretty sick ad, bro. I felt like I was watching a Jaguar commercial. That is a cool thing. As much as like I clown on Bitcoin and shit, that is a cool card. I would want that, bro. Can we just make it XRP on the and then I'd use the hell out of it. I don't know. They say best performing asset of the last decade, but I mean, let's look at the year chart, and XRP's up a lot more, dude. Crypto exchange Kraken reported Q3 revenue of $648 million, up 114% year over year. It's pretty good, if I do say so myself. This was interesting. I reported in the Crypto America newsletter this morning that Senate Minority Leader Chucky Schumer, would attend the Dem crypto industry leaders roundtable. Looks like he made it. Perhaps a signal to his colleagues he wants to see this legislation move forward. These guys are pawns, man. Doesn't mean they're not evil or have their own agenda. Obviously they do, but I think at the end of the day, when it's something as important as preserving the dollar and leading the chart, they have a plan, dude. One of Putin's guys not too long ago at I forget where he was talking, something in Russia. And he basically called out what America's trying to do and basically erase the debt with a little crypto check. And even Trump himself had said that in like a goofy way. You never really like take what he says seriously, but he was like, maybe we pay off the debt with a little crypto check, that type of shit. That's literally what Putin's guy said. And he goes, well, we're privy to it. We know what they're trying to do. This is my exact face whenever we get these market dumps, dude. Yo, Beans is saying buy the dip, but Beans is not a financial advisor. Take with that. What price are we at? We're at 238. This dude needs to stop tweeting about China. He needs to stop, man. The madness must end. So up first, we got Ripple will be handing over 126 million XRP to be locked up and traded for company shares. This is in reference to them donate, whatever you want to call it, contribute a bunch of XRP to the Evernorth Treasury Company. All we need is one bearish call from Cramer to send us to all-time highs. That's the thing. It's true. Jim Cramer. Inverse. Play the trap card. Inverse Cramer. Here we go. That's all we are waiting for, dude. November is historically really good for crypto. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. It seems like too much of a coincidence that Trump's going to be meeting with Gigi on the 31st and the Fed rate cut is around then. I don't know. There's just a lot of key things towards the end of the month, right before November. Because you look last year. Well, yeah, literally a year ago from today. Last November. Literally November 5th. 6th, that's when it started blasting up. Doesn't mean it'll happen again, but it's very interesting. Here we go. Cynthia Loomis, aka Wyoming's Bitcoin Maxi. Big day in Washington for digital asset market structure. I'm surprised she said digital asset market structure and not Bitcoin. This was interesting too. Solana just did what Bitcoin couldn't. Always taking the shots. 21 shares, new ETF approved. It'll pay 6 to 7% staking yield to the holders. The first major crypto ETF that earns passive income. That is huge, dude. Because that's what'll incentivize me to get diversified in Solana, bro. Because I don't want to like deal with all that shit anymore. That's why we really need desperately that XRP DeFi system going. But I mean, they started doing it with Flare. Flare's been around. As DAI says, there's too many bad tastes in my mouth from the past. I'm not participating in any of this yet. I don't think until eventually the big guys like Schwab or whatever get involved. I need to wait and see before I start like invest in any of my XRP to try to earn staking, because the Celsius collapse really like taught me a lesson. But I was wary enough with the Celsius collapse to not put way more. I was very conservative with what I put in there. Tony Giordano, a luxury real estate broker, explains how Bitcoin and blockchain is being used to expand real estate access. Similarly, that's a hard word, Lofty on Algorand is fractionalizing real estate for investors on chain, while Red Swan is tokenizing real estate on XLM and HBAR. This is what's up, bro. It's coming.
Some money in real estate. Do you know anybody who'd be willing to take Bitcoin and then...
And there you are at the Malibu house selling it.
Yep.
Did that house ever sell in Bitcoin?
That house did not sell in Bitcoin, no. He took it off the market and actually ended up keeping it. He's still the owner.
Okay, so it explodes onto the scene, but then Bitcoin and crypto in general has had waves. You know, you saw this huge run up. People made millions and millions of dollars. Then it came down pretty hard, but you stayed in the game.
I stayed in the game because look what's happened. Every time it's gone down, it only goes down to a new bottom, and then when it goes back up, it surpasses that bottom, and then it goes down.
That is true.
And then so when you look at it, it's almost like real estate. Yeah, it has its crashes or it has its shifts, but then it ends up going up 10 times more than it went down. And so now you see everything.
Beans gives me this
look
guy
at all
vibes.
the protocol that's the crypto bills that have been put into law from the president recently. You have people like Mike Saylor, who says that there's no reason it won't be 10 million a coin, you know, one day.
And Mike Saylor.
All right, well, if Mike Saylor told you to jump off a bridge, would you? What kind of comment is that? Oh, Mike Saylor does it. Does Mike Saylor seem like he's playing with a full deck? That whole shit going on with that screams Ponzi scheme and collapse inevitable.
Mike Saylor, he's just a very crypto expert in the game. Like he's just
he knows his talking points with Bitcoin, but I would by no means call him a fucking crypto expert, dude. I remember he was parading for literally a Bitcoin monopoly the whole time. I remember he was on stage. Oh, every other token, like XRP and Ethereum, but they're securities. They know it's securities. What are you talking about?
Always being interviewed and just.
So he's kind of a disruptor in the space as well.
He's a
big followers.
Big followers.
And I noticed that you have big followers on social media as well, and you have for a while in the crypto space. What is it about social media that seems to have fueled crypto, as well as, you know, keeping real estate one step ahead of the game?
I think because
keeping real estate, what the fuck are you talking
crypto is
about?
directly connected to technology. Social is directly connected to technology. So you just have a lot of experts experts there in that space.
Did you know that early on that you had to build your social space? Because you have over 1 million followers on Instagram.
And that's been from other things that I've done in the past, you know, being on a few episodes of $1 Million
Is this Johnny Sins?
listing back in the day, speaking in front of audiences and them seeing my social and then following me while I'm speaking. So it's taken a long time to build that. But then when crypto took off, it really did start increasing the following, because now I wasn't speaking to 2,000 real estate agents. Now I'm being brought into international conferences.
Yeah, bro. I mean, come on. Real estate's old and boring, dude. My age demographic, we want that crypto money, baby. We want that crypto Lambo. We know it's coming too. You play your cards right, it is. I mean, nothing's guaranteed. You always got to ground yourself. Nothing is guaranteed in life, guys. You got to remember that. Okay, Justin Kalshi is now the official prediction partner of the NHL. Gonna be honest, I've never heard of Cashley or Kalshley, whatever the hell you say. Read the full story. Let's read some of the story. NHL opens door to prediction markets and landmark deals with Kalshi Polymarket. Yo, get this off. I do not want cookies, bro. Reject. Get your cookies out of my face. All right, so it's just a prediction market, but they say with Polymarket, so I don't know if Polymarket owns them. Whatever, it's irrelevant. That's pretty cool though. Prediction markets. We knew that was going to be huge too. You kidding me? How much people can make money on Polymarket? People do such moronic bets. They'll be betting about how many times Jerome Powell will sneeze while he's talking to the FOMC. Like, and people can make a couple of grand off that. We're living in crazy times. This was wild to me. I don't know what is going on here. Beyond Meat is up 370% in 2 days. It is up 800% in the week. What is going on with Beyond Meat? They found a development. They're harvesting rib tissue or some shit. What is going on that they're up 800%? I thought they were doing dog shit for a while. There's no way. Like, what are they? I don't care enough about Beyond Meat to find out, but like, because at least in my personal experience, I remember for a good while, a couple of years ago, you know, they'd be trying to push that shit in your face in the grocery store and I'd be seeing it. But now I haven't seen Beyond Meat in forever, dude. Remember the Federal Reserve's David Andolfato confirmed that Ripple's protocol can coexist with the U.S. payment system. I actually do not. Yo, refresh my memory. How about that?
David, fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
I'm one of the fellows who raised his hand when you asked who uses Ripple, Joe and myself. And I just want to say, you know, it's very, I'm very happy to see that someone at the table respects it at the very least. And I'm sure that from all the good things you said about it, many people in this room would like to hear more. But you mentioned that you foresee peer-to-peer currency-agnostic payment clearance systems such as Ripple coexisting with institutions such as central banks in the United States. And my question is, how are we going to see that happen? What is it going to take?
So thank you very much. And you know, all the nice things I said about Ripple, everybody knows to short it.
Is he for real?
Well, how do I see it? I mean, you know, like you said, is currency agnostic.
You in that ugly tie, bro. That reminds me of the party Dwight threw in the office. He's got the brown balloons in there. This guy's the walking body of that.
It really doesn't care too much about creating and managing its money supply, although it does have its native money supply. So, you know, it's doing, in my the way I exposited the idea, Ripple is handling the processing of payments for many of the world's unbanked people. Okay, and
many of the unbanked people, bro, they just bought G Treasury. Well, I guess this is years ago.
The Fed is one institution that's providing a type of currency that people could use as payment using the Ripple protocol. But there may be other currencies. There could be Bitcoin. There could be the yen. So, I mean, I see room for coexistence. I mean, I see it today. I don't.
Of course it's going to coexist, you goofball. What are you talking about? Okay. Justin, OpenAI to launch its own browser, ChatGPT Atlas. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yo, I'm telling you, OpenAI is the mark of the beast, bro. Where's this video? Okay, cool. When is this? This was 23 hours ago? All right, I need more info. Breaking, the U.S. is likely to announce a trade deal with India soon, which will include tariff cuts. The cuts would lower tariff rates from 50% to 15%, and India is expected to agree to cut imports of Russia oil in return. If that's true, that's massive. That's massive, bro. We need these dominoes falling. These good dominoes. We don't want any of the bad ones to start rolling. What do we got here? Boom. The Federal Reserve is bullish on utility, not Bitcoin. All right, I don't need all the bullshit. Just let me hear what he said. I'll make up my own mind.
This is an acknowledgement that distributed ledgers and crypto assets are no longer on the fringes, but are increasingly woven into the fabric of the payment and financial system. Now, before we hear from these innovators, I would like to touch on roles that the Federal Reserve plays to support the private sector. These include serving as a convener to solve coordination problems and operating core payment and settlement infrastructure. We are also looking ahead, conducting hands-on research on tokenization, using smart contracts, and the intersection of AI and payments for use in our own payment systems. We do this to understand the innovation happening within the payment system, as well as to evaluate whether these technologies could provide opportunities to upgrade our own payment infrastructure.
It's almost like we want the private sector to do our bidding and get us out of the hole we fucking dug ourselves in. That's exactly what it seems like is going on. Idiots, bro. Speaking of idiots. Breaking. Trump trade chief Greer says Trump-Xi meeting still on schedule. It's back and forth every other hour with this crap. It's like no one takes it serious. I'd hope no one's taking this shit seriously anymore. This is such crap. What is this guy spouting off about? Gold will never be a store of value. It falls 5% in a single day and I can't buy coffee with it. It's going to zero. Is this for real or is this sarcasm? That's what I mean. I read shit like this and I can... this guy, I find... Here is one. Yo, I want to like it. I'm not. Is this for real? Who is this guy? Commercial litigator supporting Bitcoin. Here we go, dude. Why is it... like... It actually seems crazy. I'm not even trying to be rude, but whenever these guys are only Team Bitcoin, they really aren't playing with a full deck, or they're intentionally being moronic. It doesn't even make sense. Life is on the wire. The rest is just watching. Yeah, not legal and not a financial advisor. I'd hope you weren't my financial advisor. Jesus Christ. That's like saying a fucking house is going to zero because you can't buy coffee with it. What the fuck are you talking? You gotta be such a moron, bro. Like, I'm not even trying to be mean, but I just read that, and that's just my reaction. Immediate. Eric Trump said Bitcoin and crypto is about to have an explosive growth. The dam is breaking.
That is what? Fidelity controls, what, 40% of the 401ks or something in the country? It's a massive amount. All of a sudden, all those people instantaneously have access, to digital assets for the first time. And so the dam is breaking, and the worldwide adoption and regulations is especially, in not to get political, but especially based on the fact that America is leading the charge and everybody follows America. You better believe we're in the heyday of cryptocurrency and we're only on the 1 yard line with 99 yards left to go. And you're going to see explosive growth in the next 10 years. That is what Fidelity controls.
All right, we already saw explosive growth, bro. Look at the chart from fucking like a decade ago already. Yo, this guy. In the beginning, I was like, yo, them being pro crypto would be really good for the industry. But since then, it's been constant, nothing but market manipulation by Trump. And it's definitely on behalf of these goofballs because they're running a direct competitor in the industry, World Liberty Financial. Like, talk about conflict of interest. So that's another reason why I think they're going to put a boot on the neck of this entire growth of the industry until, especially them, because they kind of control the keys. The ball's in their court. Until they're perfectly positioned. I don't know, bro. I do like that picture of Brad Garlinghouse and Stuart Alderati meeting with Trump at Mar-a-Lago back then. It's like they know who they are. They just, for some reason, can't spout the name Ripple or XRP. It can't leave their vocal cords. We could see over 200. Oh, okay. So this is the amount of ETF filings since 2024. Solana 23, Bitcoin 23, XRP 20. I think it's more than 20, honestly, now that I'm reading that. Ethereum, what is that, 10? The Federal Reserve Governor demands stablecoins should not pay yields to customers because rewards belong to, we got to hear this.
You should be able to pay some kind of reward or yield on the actual T-bills and money market funds that you're holding. You should be able to pass some of that on to customers.
It's not an investment vehicle. It's not a time deposit where you're holding it to earn interest, right? You're not holding currency for its yield. If Congress
then why hold dollars in certain scenarios?
Wanted to let you pay interest, they should have just said, let you pay interest. So trying to backdoor it is a little funny. It's not supposed to bear interest. At that point, it's not up to me to decide whether that's up to Congress. That's why I don't want to think about paying interest on these payment accounts. It's not supposed to be an account for somebody to hold stablecoins and earn interest. You're not holding it to earn interest. So it's a claim on the banks. You can...
Let me ask, should I be holding it for interest?
Disintermediate a bank, but you can't disintermediate the banking system. You don't have any claim to demand treasuries. You don't get to go to the bank and say, I want some treasuries. They'll say, no, you get $1. Here's what you get.
Okay, how about we shouldn't have to answer to the banks at all? Oh, dude, this shit's so annoying. This is so crazy. I mean, it makes sense. I'm not surprised in the least bit. They're going to be fighting tooth and nail the banking industry. They've been fighting for a while to have that not be the case, to earn interest on stablecoins. I mean, I guess I don't really care as long as I get interest on, I'm able to get interest DeFi on my assets. Like, I guess what's the big deal? Freedom, I guess freedom, but we unfortunately live in this reality, so that's not, it's kind of the illusion. 24.5 million RLUSD minted at the treasury. Pretty good. It's what we want to see. It's peanuts in the grand scheme, but it's what we want to see. The head of crypto at PayPal and PayPal USD on how crypto networks and platforms like MoneyGram are driving adoption for retail and common purchases. What's he got to say?
Right now, USDT, USDC are the big global players in stablecoins. And partly because I think the industry loves the idea that this is very much non-Web 2, non-big business money, even though we can see the profitability of a Tether and see how big this company actually is. With PYUSD, PayPal's own stablecoin, you were early again entering into that game. And I'm wondering what you believe your point of differentiation is when dollar peg stablecoins feel like they could become a commodity and then it really becomes the service layer that makes them different.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think when you think about it, it's really fundamentally very simple, right? So we're a payments company that's done commerce around the world for decades. And so when you take that, what is that? And you unpack that for a second. What does that mean? It means we have a distribution network of consumers as well as merchants. And then on top of that, we have payments flows, which we can optimize to be better with our own stablecoin. So what no other, from the ones you've mentioned and others out there have is exactly those things, is a distribution network, as well as the coin, as well as these expertise in payments. And that's where is our true differentiation. And that's where we really want to drive and help the ecosystem as a whole continue to drive more efficiency around commerce globally for both sides of that network, consumers and merchants.
And following up on that, I think...
And following up on that, I should be interviewing May Zabana. Okay, interesting. I saw that they messed up the other day. Oh, what did I click? I saw yesterday they messed up and they printed 300 trillion PayPal USD. And then Stellar was like, oh, well, if you need a blockchain, Stellar can actually handle that. It's like, okay. Just in, Meta is cutting 600 jobs from its legacy AI department as it streamlines resources for its push towards super intelligence. I mean, can we, yet again, I don't know the behind the scenes of all this stuff going on. Something about this, I don't think Meta is going to be the one to hit super intelligence. If anything, they kind of, at least just from my my view, they seem pretty far behind OpenAI. And then this dude, HBO's Welcome to Derry series just ain't it. I could have told you that, dude. It's such a crap concept. Like, he needs to be in movies, bro. One of the best horror characters of all time. You kidding me? Guys, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on. Let's get some conversations going. Anything catch your eye, let me know in the comments. And that's it. Appreciate you. I will see you in the next one. Stay tuned.